Welcome to the sports edition of The Beat. I am Nick Escalera. I'm a sports reporter for the RCC Viewpoints paper. I bring you all things sports, and there was a lot going on for the fall sports this season, as I would like to give a tremendous congratulations to both men's cross country and women's water polo, as they are this year's state champions for their respective sports. I mean, it's unbelievable. The men won with an overall team time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 21 seconds. That edged out both Glendale and Mount Sac. But the women, though, they won their state title in an absolute nail biter against the number one team in the state, Santa Barbara City College. You want to know what that final was? Here we go. Ready? 9-8 in double overtime. Wow, what an absolute game! I really wish I would have been there. That would have been amazing to see. But today, I really want to talk to you guys, get you guys hyped up for this Saturday's SoCal Regional final game between your Riverside City College Tigers and the Fullerton College Hornets, as they're going to take place in a battle of, honestly, in my guess, is going to be just like last week's performance against Saddleback and another absolute shootout of a game. I mean, if you look back at Fullerton, their final against Ventura last week was 48-42, and that one was an absolute nail biter. So when you see our score of 49-38 over Saddleback, and now we go up against Fullerton, who won 48-42 against Ventura, man, that sounds like an absolute battle right there. But you know what? I want to give a shout out really quick, since we're on the topic of football. I want to give a quick shout out to my cousin, Carlos Rivas. He plays for Rancho Cucamonga High School. They are currently in the semifinals of the CIF Southern Section Division I playoffs. They take on Mater Dei this Friday, the number one team in the state. So big shout out to them, and another shout out to another IE school, Corona Centennial. They're playing a rematch game of last year's CIF championship game against St. John Bosco. So if any of you want to go check those out, the Bosco Centennial game, that's going to be at Corona Centennial. If you want to go see the Rancho Mater Dei game, head on to Santa Ana and check that out. Anyways, let's get back to our Tigers football. I mean, if you were there, wow, what a game. What an absolute game. I mean, big performance out of two of our wide receivers, both Jacoby Herring and Darius Hunter. Absolute monsters of wide receivers. They played their tails off. And a quick condolences to Colin Anderson, the starting quarterback that day. Unfortunately, had to leave towards the end of the third quarter with an injury, but he is back now. He was at practice this week, and he's cleared to play for Saturday. So look for him on Saturday to have another monster performance. But let's get to the highlights. RCC started off the night with scoring two straight possessions. One was an 8-yard rushing touchdown from Altoro Allen. Their second one was on a 63-yard pass to Jacoby Herring, so that put them up 14-0. I mean, the defense came out very strong in that first quarter, only allowing Saddleback to 91 total yards and 2 interceptions. So ending the first quarter up 14-0, RC was looking pretty strong, looking like they have a shot at winning this game. But second quarter, Saddleback showed some life. They scored a touchdown on an 18-yard run and a 70-yard pass, and they tied it up 14-14. But we have a resilient group. These Tigers this year are very resilient. Through any adversity, they get through it. I mean, just before the second quarter ended, there was a touchdown from Anderson to Herring for 11 yards. That put them up 21-14. So going to halftime, the RCC was looking very strong. Who else was strong, though, was, like I mentioned earlier, Jacoby Herring. Just in that first half alone, he had 2 touchdowns for 74 yards. He would receive another touchdown later on in the game and end up finishing the game with 143 total yards. But Jacoby definitely had a very strong first half. Going into the third quarter, not much really happened in that third quarter. A lot of defensive stops, a lot of miscues. But one thing that did happen, though, was a scary sight just before the third quarter ended, actually. Like I mentioned earlier, Anderson got hurt. Anderson threw a 63-yard pass. It ended up being a touchdown. But after he threw it, I didn't quite catch it because I was watching the ball. Apparently, one of the linemen came in and hit Anderson hard. He came down and just would not get up. It was actually very, very quiet in the stadium to see the Tigers' starting quarterback not be able to get up. He would leave on a stretcher. He would head to the nearby hospital. But other than that, nothing really happened that third quarter except for Anderson's injury. And again, like I said, I'm glad he's doing okay now. He was at practice this week. But still, that's a tough hit to take. That was not cool. I mean, that was the first time in the game, but there was more of that to come. But we'll move on from that. Fourth quarter, there was definitely a lot going on in that fourth quarter. I mean, there was a point where both teams combined scored 38 points in the span of 6, 7, 8 minutes. So if you can do the math together, that's pretty intense. 6, 7, 8 minutes of football, especially in the fourth quarter, and especially in a playoff game. But this is how the scoring went down. Okay, so Saddleback started it, 46-yard field goal. Then they had a 12-yard rushing touchdown. They took the lead 31-28. Now, remember how I mentioned earlier, Darius Hunter. That's a key name to remember, especially for this week going up against Fullerton. Darius Hunter had a tremendous fourth quarter. He had 2 touchdowns. One was a 26-yarder that gave him the lead, 35-31. And then after Saddleback took back the lead, he scored on another touchdown, which that touchdown shouldn't have been a touchdown. Well, I wouldn't say it shouldn't have been a touchdown, but he created the touchdown. I think it was a 12-yard pass, and he was just moving and juking. I think he broke maybe 4 or 5 tackles, ended up running it 58 yards for the touchdown, giving RCC the 42-38 lead. So that was a huge game. I mean, I talked to him after the game, and this is what he said. He said, I just knew my team needed me, and we got a lot of elite players, but if nobody was able to step up, then I had to do it. And, to me, that's a sign of a leader, and I think Darius Hunter is going to have a bright future wherever he goes after he's done here at RCC. I believe he's going to have a bright future. But for the most part, that was all Saddleback could do, really, was hope that we didn't score anymore. I mean, just before the game ended, huge sack as Saddleback was driving. Linebacker Nick Underwood came in and hit the quarterback, created a fumble, and then corner linebacker Kahani Smith picked it up, ran it back 33 yards, gave them the 49-38 lead, and that ended up being the final right there. So moving on to this Saturday's game, Fullerton, 527.4 yards a game. That's a lot. That's a high-powered offense right there. I mean, you can tell by looking at their scores. I mean, 79-18, 63-31, 59-27, 48-42. That's a high-powered offense right there. But, our defense is pretty good. I mean, passing yards we've allowed 202 yards. Rushing yards allowed 89.4. So someone's going to have to give in, whether it's the offense or the defense. I mean, we saw last week the offense definitely gave in. So my guess is this week's game is definitely going to come down to, I mean, this is the point of the game, who can score the most points, but this is going to definitely come down to who can score the most points. Like, there might not be any defense at all. If there is, it's maybe 1 or 2 drives, and you never know. Maybe those 1 or 2 drives might decide the game. But looking at RCC's yards per game, 488. That's not bad. I mean, it's not the 527 that Fullerton has, but 488. That's still a lot per game. I mean, we score 43.4 a game. They score 52.3. So, in a sense, there's not going to be much defense going on in this game. I mean, granted, RCC, not a USC, totally 2 different divisions, 2 totally different levels of competition. RCC, their defense is one of the best in the state, as I mentioned earlier, only giving up 19.3 points a game. But they're going up against a Fullerton offense that's just probably going to overpower that defense. So it's all going to come down to who can make the right plays at the right time, and basically who's going to have the ball last. This might come down to overtime for all I know. I mean, they went down to overtime against Long Beach, and they had to come back in that one Granted, they didn't go to overtime this past Saturday against Saddleback, but still, that was a shootout. So there's going to be a lot going on this week, this Saturday in that game, and so there's a lot on the line. The winner goes to the California Community College Athletic Association State Championship game, and actually, the winner of this game, basically the Southern California region, the winner of this game is going to host the state championship. So whoever wins this game is going to play the winner of Butte College and American River, two really good teams up north as well. I mean, we look at Butte's record. They were 8-2 this season. They beat San Mateo, who's really good. They beat them 30-12. And then American River also 8-2. They beat Modesto Junior College 27-21. So that was a close game. So a lot of close games, a lot of high-scoring games from what I'm seeing, mainly by the Southern California region. I mean, both teams nearly scored 50 points. But it's going to be a good battle. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm going to be there. Hopefully you guys will be there. It's not going to – here's the thing that I'm surprised about. It's not going to be at their own field. I don't know why it's not. It's going to be at Yorba Linda High School. That's something I'm probably going to go look into later when I get there, ask see what's going on. But if you guys want to be there, want to check out that game, it's at 1 o'clock, Yorba Linda High School. Yeah, I can't wait for the game. I hope you guys are there, can make it. I want to do a little quick recap of the fall sports. As I mentioned earlier, women's water polo, men's cross country, both finished as state champs. But hey, give credit to our other sports. Women's cross country took 4th in the state. Men's water polo finished 3rd in the SoCal, but did not qualify for state. So I mean, it was still a very good fall for our sports. Volleyball made playoffs. Actually, I forgot to mention that their playoffs actually started this week. They had a play-in game. I believe it was Saturday, and they won that, so they made it into the first round. And then they had their first round game. I believe it was yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday, and they were on the road. So we haven't been really a big road team, but I'm not surprised that we lost that game. We lost three sets to 2. So I mean, hey, we put up a fight on the road. I mean, we were going to be on the road the whole time. We were the number 18 seed. We were going to be on the road the whole time, but we still put up a fight against a really good Grossmont team. I mean, look at these scores: 25-23, 25-23, 25-21, 25-20, 15-9. I mean, they put up a fight. It wasn't the season they were hoping for, but they got into the playoffs. They put up a fight. So a big congratulations to the women's volleyball team for an amazing season. I mean, I know you guys were expecting more. Your fans were expecting more, but hey, can't go wrong with going all the way to 5 sets in 2 playoff games. So I congratulate you guys. Congratulate all the fall sports. And good luck to football this coming weekend against Fullerton. Hopefully they win so I can come back on here, talk some more football with you guys, because football season ain't over yet. Football season is not over till after the state championship. So let's go Riverside. Let's go Tigers. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.